Guys, Mr. Fluffy Pants here. Today, guys, another video. And today, guys, we're reviewing The Batman, which is the new 2022 film starring Robert Pattinson in the titular role, which, this was definitely one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And, I gotta say, though, I'm not honestly a huge Batman fan. Like, I do like Batman, but I'm not, like, a huge Batman fan. But I was so excited for this movie. And, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go over some non-spoiler thoughts. And then, like, I'll let you guys know when I transition over to spoilers in case you guys haven't seen it yet. But like I said, I wasn't like a huge Batman fan. Like I enjoyed the Dark Knight films, and that was and then I saw Ben Affleck in the DCU. And other than that, I haven't really watched anything other Batman. I've watched like one or two of like the animated movies. Like I watched the Dark Knight Returns, like part 1 and part 2, and like the Killing Joke. But other than that, I think that's like all of the Batman I've been exposed to, but, I've always, like, thought the character design was cool and whatnot, but, I've always, like, known about the Michael Keaton and whatnot, but I watched the Christian Bale movies probably about a few years ago, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they're pretty good, not my favorite, though, and then I rewatched them about a couple months ago, and I really like, the Dark Knight and then the Dark Knight Rises. I don't really like Batman Begins, so whenever I heard Robert Pattinson was playing Batman, I was like, okay, we'll kind of see where this goes, because Batman's been rebooted so many times, and like we got so many different universes going on, like Joker, like especially that we heard that this is going to be completely separate from Joker, which so we got like 3 different universes going on at the same time, which is kind of weird. But then the trailers started coming out. We started getting Batsuit leaks and stuff, and I was like, this might actually be good. The trailers started coming out. I was like, oh my god, I'm so hyped for this movie. And I can definitely come back. This movie has lived up to my hypes and exceeded my expectations. And the funny thing is, this is actually now the movie I've seen the most in theaters. I saw it 3 times this opening weekend, which, not really like seeking it out to see that many times. It just kind of happened that way. I saw it with my friends at college, and then I came home, saw it with my friends at home, and then I saw it with my parents the same weekend, which and also this movie being 3 hours long, the third time was a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, I did fall asleep, but I was also kind of tired, from the night before, but, it's definitely got some rewatchability. There's just so many Easter eggs and stuff in this movie, but, yes, Robert Pattinson is now my official favorite Batman, and this is also officially my favorite Batman movie, which before this, I would say it's probably The Dark Knight Rises, but, The Batman is now my personal favorite. First of all, the Riddler is so terrifying in this movie. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly. Paul Dano just does such a great job. And also, Batman in this movie is just so realistic and grounded, and I just love how you can feel, like, the weight of his bat suit in every movement and whatnot. And also, there's just so many cool sequences. Like, we'll say there's the third act, which I know a lot of people complain about. My only complaint is that it feels like it ends, like, 3 times, but, I just feel like that's kind of, unfortunately with the runtime or whatnot, but, Catwoman, I thought she did a pretty good job, for, the role that she was given or whatnot, and also, the guy that plays Commissioner Gordon, I think his name's Jeffrey Wright, he does such a good job, honestly, like, the Batman and Gordon's relationship in this movie is just so awesome, and also, this movie is just straight up a detective, movie with, like, elements of horror in it, which I absolutely love, but, also the Penguin, he's honestly, like, one of the best, like, portrayals of any supervillain in a movie or what, not really supervillain, he's just kind of like a mob boss or whatnot, but, like I said, the way they also portrayed the Riddler definitely gives me Zodiac vibes, and, Matt Reeves definitely said, the director said that, he was heavily inspired by, like, by, like, Zodiac from, David Fincher and, like, a Seven or whatnot, which, I can definitely see those influences in here, but, like I said, there's just so many cool action set pieces, so many cool shots and whatnot in this movie. This movie, like I said, lived up to everything I wanted it to, and I cannot wait to, see it again in the future on home release or whatnot, but, I'll probably give The Batman a 9.5 out of 10 for me, just because I loved it so much. But now we're going to be transitioning over to spoilers, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, you can step away right now. Okay, now we're transitioning to spoilers, so I kind of want to talk about some specific sequences and reveals or whatnot, but first of all, the thing that really just sticks out to me is just the opening of this movie. I absolutely love, the Riddler murdering the mayor, and then probably one of my favorite comic book movie scenes, like, ever, is whenever the Batman is, like, narrating over his events of Halloween night, which the movie opens up on, which, I knew it was inspired by excuse me, The Long Halloween, which just sound from what I've seen is a very cool storyline or whatnot. But just his narration, and you see like different criminals around the city, and they are whenever they see the bats in them, they just like strikes fear in them, and they just look into the shadows and just they just like are scared of the shadows because Batman could be lurking it, and you see the paint can roll into the shadows or whatnot. And also the way that they use the darkness in this movie is just so cool. Like whenever during that same scene he shows up on the train platform and beats up those thugs, you just hear his thumping heavy footsteps. It's just so cool. Also another thing I can think of right off the bat is the Batmobile chase is like so awesome. Like I didn't see this movie in IMAX, but the theater we were in, whenever you start hearing the Batmobile like revving up or whatnot, it just rumbled the whole theater. I can't even imagine that sequence in IMAX. But whenever Gordon Batman followed the Penguin to like a drug dealer or whatnot, and you just hear like the Batmobile start revving up. You see like all the flames shooting out, the red glow of the engine. It's just so cool. Honestly, this is my favorite Batmobile design just because it's so cool. And I love how he even he accidentally stalls out, which does show he's still kind of a rookie because he's in his second year or whatnot. But also, I forgot to kind of mention the bat suit. It just looks absolutely spectacular. The only complaint I can have is kind of in certain shots kind of looks like Ben Affleck's bat suit, which I don't really like at all because it's just like rubber or whatnot. But yeah, in some shots though, but most of the time it looks very good. Like I love the cowl and everything, but and also that let's get back to that Batmobile sequence. So just the chase or whatnot, and then the music and whenever he's walking up to the Penguin flipping upside down is just so cool. And that whole chase sequence is just so immaculately done. I love it so much. Even though there's like people that die in that explosion, and that's kind of on Batman's fault because he didn't exactly cause the crash, but because he was chasing the Penguin, those people died, which is unfortunate. But and also the score for this movie by Michael Giacchino, or however you say his name, is just absolutely like spectacular. This is one of the best and just right off the bat iconic superhero scores of all time. Like the main score for the Batman, where it's kind of like the dum dum, that it's just so cool and brooding. And then there's also that part of that same score where it's kind of uplifting that plays during the funeral scene or whatnot is just like so good. Like, and the Riddler's theme is just so good. Also, anytime you hear that, you're just kind of creeped out or whatnot. But and also one thing about that funeral scene is I didn't realize that the when Bruce Wayne's there and he hears that one guy in the crowd over talking about the rich or whatnot and something about his daughter being sick or something. I didn't realize that was the same one of the Riddler's goons at the end of the movie whenever Commissioner Gordon, after Batman beats the crap out of him, asks him who he is, and he just says, "I'm vengeance," and Batman looks at him. I didn't realize that was the same guy until like my third rewatch, which is kind of cool. But also though, I will say the first time I watched this movie through, the plot of like the rat or whatnot was a little confusing, but just the Riddler's clues or whatnot, like my favorite one that, Batman had put together was "You are El Rata Alada," which is actually, incorrect Spanish, but it was put that way on purpose, like URL, like website or whatnot. So I thought that was just so cool. And I love how, the Riddler was was staying in a hotel right out front of the Iceberg Lounge or whatnot. And whenever he said, "Bring the rat into the light," he meant that like literally so he could shoot him and then get caught, and then his goons can what the only thing about the Riddler's plan, like it makes perfect sense, he set it up all the way, but like the timing just kind of had to be coincidental because he was wanting to because he wanted to be caught or whatnot, and the trucks were gonna blow up the Riverwalk on election night anyway. But and he posted a video the night before. He knew he was gonna get caught the next day, but how did he know Batman the next day was gonna catch Carmine Falcone or whatnot? That was a little weird. But it's whatever. The timing just kind of had to work out perfectly. Like I feel like he played it out pretty well. It's just the timing was a little coincidental, let's just say. But also another one of my favorite kind of scenes or whatnot is after the Riddler leads Batman to the old Wayne estate, which was the orphanage where the Riddler grew up or whatnot. They learned that Bruce Wayne's the next target, and Batman's just racing back as fast as he can in the Batmobile, just screaming like, "Come on!" and trying to call Alfred, and you get this kind of cool bait and switch where you hear the phone ring, and you see Alfred open up the package. It says "to the Batman." He flips over, it says "fireproof," and he's like, "Oh shit!" Turns over the package, and it's got like a C4 explosive or whatnot. Throws it and just explode. And it turns out the phone we heard ringing was the maid or whatnot picks up. And she's like, "Yeah, something." Bruce Wayne's like, "I need to talk to Alfred. Something's gonna awful happen." And she's like, "It already did about an hour ago." And it's such a good bait and switch. I love that so much. And I also really love Bruce Wayne and Alfred's relationship in this movie. Like, Andy Serkis did an absolutely great job in the movie or whatnot. But, we get this whole thing about the sins of the father or whatnot, which there's also this really cool, the Riddler interrogation scene near the end of the movie is just so good. And like I said, Paul Dano just does such a good job. But I love when he's like, Bruce Wayne, and Batman's like, "Oh shit, he knows who I am." The audience is also like, "Oh crap," he knows he's Bruce Wayne or whatnot. But then you kind of get, and then the Riddler says, "We almost got all of those rich prick twos except for Bruce Wayne." And Batman's like, "Okay, so he doesn't know me," which I don't know. Like, I mean, you could definitely interpret it as the Riddler still knows it's Batman or whatnot, but you could also interpret it still as like the surface level kind of thing is the Riddler does not know that Bruce Wayne's Batman still. But so I like how you kind of interpret that both ways. But also the setup for the Joker at the end with Barry Keoghan, or however you say his name, from Eternals. First of all, I love him. I think he would be a great fit for a Joker, which he is. So I hope we do get to see more of him in the future. But it is weird, though, because a lot of people every person I've seen the movie with thinks it's Two-Face at the end, but it's obviously Joker, because, he makes, like, the clown quote or whatnot, but I can definitely see what they're talking about, because his face kind of looks very disfigured or whatnot, but, every single person I've seen it with says Two-Face, which that means they probably should have shown a little bit more of him, just so everybody does not think it's Two-Face, or maybe they kind of wanted, like, people just to kind of talk about it or whatnot. I don't really know, but, the ending of this movie, also, I'm really glad that they included that Nirvana song they had in the trailers. I'm really glad that was included, but this movie's overall just a masterpiece, though. Like I said, the ending kind of feels like it ends 3 times or whatnot, but I don't know, I just really love this movie, and, this is definitely my favorite live-action Batman movie. It's just so good, and, this is definitely, if I was going to watch a Batman movie out of all of them, it would definitely be this one, but that's just me, though. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about the Batman down below. Like I said, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Let me know your rating, and, who's your favorite Batman? But anyway, guys, check out my, Twitter, link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!